Adam here from the Walzer Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is compare a couple of mid-size SUVs. Now we have the all-new 2024 Honda CR-V, and we're going to compare that with the Mazda CX-5. So we'll look at the interior, the exterior, and see which one might just be right for you. All right, let's begin with the Mazda CX-5. Now this is a tried and true vehicle that's been in the Mazda lineup for a really long time, and now this is a 2023 model as the 24s haven't quite come out yet. I love the CX-5. This one we have here today is the 2.5 liter turbo. So that's gonna give you 227 horsepower, and that's gonna provide you with 27 miles per gallon on the highway. So that's gonna be about 24 mpg combined. Now this is also the iActive all-wheel drive system. So that's gonna help you out in those Minnesota winters, or if you're doing any off-roading or camping, this vehicle is gonna be more than capable when it comes to that. Now for a small vehicle, again, they do make larger CX-50 or CX-90 models in the lineup, but I love the size of the CX-5. It's easy to park, it's easy to drive, it kind of feels like a little go-kart on the road, and I think it's definitely a little bit sportier when comparing it to the CR-V, especially with that added horsepower. It's definitely gonna have more get up and go. Now, as far as cargo capacity is concerned, both are going to be very similar. They both have 60-40 split rear seats, so if you're hauling any larger objects or if you got the kids and you got all their stuff with you, you can fold down one side or both, and it makes it very usable. Now, let's hop over to that Honda CR-V. We'll check out that exterior. All right, so taking a look at the Honda CR-V, again, this is the 2024 model, so these just arrived and it's a great addition to the Honda lineup. Now, this is going to be our EXL all-wheel drive trim, and this is gonna have the 1.5 liter, which is gonna be a turbocharged engine. Now, it's gonna be a little down on power at about 190 horsepower, but fuel economy is gonna be much better than the Mazda CX-5. Now, fuel economy-wise, you're gonna be looking at 27 in the city compared to 27 on the highway. Now this is going to be 32 on the highway, which is going to be a little bit better than that Mazda CX-5. Now again, this is going to have that all-wheel drive system, very similar to the Mazda, in that both are an all-wheel drive, so they can sort of deactivate to just more of a front-wheel drive, which is going to help you get that best possible fuel economy until it feels slippage, in which case it will kick in and help you get that sure-footedness on the open road. Again, same usability out of the cargo area. Both are gonna have a ton of amazing equipment inside the vehicle as well. So let's jump back over to the Mazda and we'll check out that interior. Okay, so now we're inside the CX-5, and again, this is gonna be the 2.5 turbo. This is gonna be a little bit further up the food chain, but there is signature editions, there's some below this, so I thought this was a good starting point to look at. Now, the Mazda CX-5 has always had a super comfortable interior. This one, I love these leatherette seats. They've got this red stitching in here that runs throughout, and these are also gonna be heated as well as being ventilated. Now, one of the best things, there's a heated steering wheel. So this is gonna be the leather wrap with that red stitching as well as the shift knob here. Now from there, this is gonna have the 10.25-inch display. Now this isn't going to be a touchscreen. Everything's run through Mazda's infotainment knob down here, so you can kind of go through that way. There's also voice commands. Plus, in some trim levels, you will have wireless Apple CarPlay as well as wireless Android Auto, or you can plug it in. And one of the best things, we always have our phones with us, right? There is a wireless charger down here, which is great for when you're on the go. Now, as far as usability and safety is concerned, Mazda has a ton of safety features. You can spend a long time going through it all, but the main ones are going to be things like your adaptive cruise control, your blind spot monitoring. The backup camera in here is going to have rear cross traffic alert, so it'll let you know if you're starting to get close to something. I mean, there's a ton of goodies in here. Plus, with that infotainment, you are going to have the Bose sound system, which sounds great. So now, as far as rear legroom is going to be concerned, the CX-5 is going to be right in the middle of the lineup for Mazda. So if you are needing that third row, you can move up to the CX-90, or if you don't quite need this much space, there is smaller options as well. But I like this because in the back, there's vents back there, it's comfortable. You can put 4 or 5 people in this vehicle very comfortably, and I mean, it just kind of does it all. Like I said, it's fun to drive with the turbo. There's little paddle shifters on here, so if you feel like getting a little sporty, this is definitely the better option for that. This feels like a luxury interior. If you covered the Mazda badge, you could fool people into thinking this is a higher end German SUV, and it just does everything nice, everything's laid out very well, and I'm a big fan of the CX-5. Let's hop over to that Honda CR-V and we'll take a peek at that one. Okay, so now in the CR-V, let's start with our cell phone, right? This one is gonna have wireless charging, and you are gonna have USB as well as a USB-C charger down here. There's also gonna be a couple of USB-Cs in the back for your rear passengers. Now, I like the cabin design that they've done. It's kind of this honeycomb style grille that goes across for your air vents here. There's little knobs where you control them, which is pretty cool. Now, this is gonna be a little bit smaller infotainment screen. This is gonna be the 9-inch one, but this is such an upgrade for Honda. The new infotainment is lightning fast. Again, some optional wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, or you can always plug it in. But I mean, from there, I can't stress how much better that is compared to the outgoing model. Now, your backup camera, this one is not quite as crisp, I don't think, as the CX-5. I like that the infotainment is quick, but that backup camera still for 2024 seems a little blurry to me as the one downside, but it's very easy to use. Get your Spotify, Google Maps going. I think it's a great update there. Okay, so now the Honda Safety Sense, there's a ton of equipment very similar to the Mazda CX-5. Your adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, there's gonna be a system that's gonna help keep you in your lane, as well the rear cross traffic alert. I mean, both of them are gonna be very similar in that regard and keep you and your family very safe when you're on the road. Now, the price point in both the CR-V and the Mazda CX-5 is gonna be at a very similar point. I mean, within a few $100s of each. So, I mean, it's really gonna break down to a few different things. Honda's had the name of reliability forever, so you know this thing's gonna run for a couple 100,000 miles, it seems like. Where the Mazda CX-5, obviously, has been around for a long time now as well, and also holds a high standard for reliability. Both are going to give you pretty similar equipment. I think the styling and kind of the overall look of the turbo on the Mazda is going to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more sporty, where this seems a little bit more utility. And overall, I think it's a good design language, but not quite as sharp as the Mazda. So personally, on the inside, the new updates to the CR-V, I mean, it's so much better than the outgoing model, and I think it really does compare very similar with the Mazda CX-5. I love the piano black and the honeycomb that flows through. Both are gonna have almost identical equipment. That one does have the ventilated seats, where this one's just gonna have the heated seats in here, but both seats super comfortable. I mean, overall, it really breaks down to you just having to get out, take one for a spin, and do you like the sportiness of that, or do you like the creature comforts in the Honda? There's a bunch of good stuff that both offer, and you really gotta come check them out and see what you think. In conclusion, there's not a bad choice. I love the sportiness of the Mazda CX-5 and the utility of the Honda CR-V. I think both are great options if you're looking for a mid-size SUV. Now, if you'd like more information or to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by any one of our locations. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.